Happy New Year. This is Katie McDonald with Be Nourished, and I'm here to share some thoughts about the new year. It's so easy, especially right now, for it just to be a flurry of activities and rushing and racing. And I want to share another approach, maybe a slower approach, a more intentional approach. I like to think of it as the start of a new school year, when you get that new notebook and you get fresh pens and pencils. I know I'm total nerd in that way, but this really is this sacred time for us to reflect, for us to strategize, and also to maybe do things a little differently that we can celebrate in different ways. I want to share a family tradition that we have that's really rooted in the Zen path. 19 years ago, I joined a Zen center in Rochester, New York, called the Rochester Zen Center. That is as old as I am, 54. And my husband introduced me to it, and my son was just born. And I felt at home immediately. And one of the things that the Zen tradition introduced to us is the idea of a temple cleaning that takes place at the Zen Center every year at this time of year, where all the members join and clean the entire place. I mean, everything. And the first time, my job was to clean doorknobs. Like, what? Doorknobs? Really? That was my singular job, was to go through the entire complex and do nothing but clean doorknobs in silence. There was a ritual originally, just some incense and bringing some intentionality. The idea of the temple cleaning was to release all the old energy and to make room for new energy. I loved the concept. It felt different. I felt different having done that task, which, trust me, when I was given the assignment of doing doorknobs, I did a lot of eye rolls. But I found that when I got fully in that moment of just cleaning that doorknob after doorknob, it became a meditation practice. And I felt really grounded and still and intentional. And I really did connect with the task of getting rid of the kind of vestiges of the old year, so that I could ready myself and I could help contribute in making the space open and receiving of the new messages and the new wishes and the new good energy of the year. Sounds a little woo-woo-y, and I definitely can go there really easily. However, I felt it. There was definitely a shift. And even if you're not kind of tuned in that way, or don't want to be tuned in that way, or think it's kind of cray-cray, that's all right. But is there a way to bring elements of it into your own life? We went from cleaning the temple to then going into our own homes and bringing that same intentionality, this clear commitment to release whatever was still left from the year behind. And again, just wipe clean, fresh start, begin again. It's such a wonderful message, because it's so easy for us to carry the debris of the day, let alone a year, especially a year like this year. We can get stuck and stagnant, and it's really important that we welcome a whole new type of energy and mentality and vitality. But we first have to let go so that we can embrace. So try it. What I would encourage you to do is to just decide on the day that you're actually going to clean your temple, clean the house. And by clean, I mean, there is organizing element of it. You could go full on KonMari, Marie Kondo, and touch every item and express gratitude, dust every item. That's a big task. You've got to decide the degree to which you want to do it. But even just the intentionality to say, I am going to devote X amount of time. I'm going to ask my family members to join in, and we're actually going to clean this space. And let go of whatever energy, whatever remains we have of this past year. And so go room by room. I would encourage you to address every space. The degree to which you do it is up to you. But this is not only a cleaning, but a clearing. Removing the debris, removing the old stories, the ways in which we can get so myopic and stuck. We're going to let them go, and do it through cleaning. I would encourage you to not put music on, not be distracted, just literally embrace it as a still practice, a mindfulness practice, that your body may be moving in the task, but that your mind settles on the task. We are so buried in our thoughts. We are suffering from too muchness, too many thoughts, too much food, too much alcohol, too much screen time. You know, that the disease of busyness and the complications that come from too muchness, when our only task is to clean doorknobs or to wipe off our bookshelves, all of that, the windowsills, whatever it is, to be deeply present in that moment is transformational. It makes everything else fade away. I know what you know what I mean. When we're really single-minded on a particular task, everything else fades into the background, and it really wakes us up to a state of presence and mindfulness that we all talk about wanting. And we don't need to be sitting on a mountaintop cross-legged in a robe, although that sounds kind of nice right now, but we don't need to do that. We can do it simply by having a rag in our hand and wiping clean. I would encourage you to use natural cleaners. Essential oils in particular are powerful. Using a lavender essential oil, using lemon for cleaning. There's a reason why Lemon Pledge uses lemon, because the essential oils in the lemon is very powerful for wood cleaning. So you could do a little research or just get natural cleaners. There's seventh generation. There's so many different brands. I would encourage you to go in that direction, because again, the act of cleaning is therapeutic and ritualistic if we bring that kind of energy to it, but we don't want it to be toxic. And when we're using chemicals, then we're compromising our own health in supposed service to our homes, and that doesn't make sense. We want to tend to the temple that is our body first and foremost, and then using the healthy cleaners to do it. So keep it simple, get some cotton cloths, and just pick a room and ask everybody to be responsible for their primary spaces. So if you have children, ask them to tend to their room, and their age will determine the degree to which you need to be involved. But help them understand why this is a ritual, that why it's important for us to create a demarcation from the old year to the new, why we need rituals and how grounding and rooting they can be, especially in a tumultuous time such as this. So room by room. And then the next step is actually I like to open a window, let the energy out, just symbolically as well as really literally getting some fresh air in as we let go of the old. So after the cleaning, what we do in my family is we have a little party. Okay, I sound like a real nerd, and I am, it's okay, I own it, but we do meditate. We meditate, we light some incense, and we actually really spend some time talking about the year. Like, what was this year about? Where did we grow? What are our opportunities for growth? Where, where we thought the year was going to go, and the reminder of how little control we have over it is helpful when we see, like, this is what I thought it was going to be, and this is what it ended up being. How fascinating that we really don't have the control we think we do. Very humbling and very important message as we embark on the new year. At the same time, understanding the delusion of control, we also want to gain some control, some insight, some vision for our life ahead. So again, we're releasing the old energy, we're welcoming new energy, and we're using cleaning as the way to do it. We're bringing that ritual and respect to our home environments. When I launched Be Nourished, I don't know, I underestimated the role that the home would play in the work that I did with my clients. My main areas of focus are really food, thought, and time. Yet if I were to add a fourth, it would be the home environment and the work environment. Our environments, our spaces dramatically impact our physical health, our mental health, our spiritual health, all of it, our relationships. It has an impact in every aspect of our lives. And underestimating it would really be eliminating a really powerful tool that we can use to transform our states of mind and our states of physical well-being. So it's a really important, impactful lever to pull, that when we want to create a state of mind, when we want to create more joy, or when I find that clients have an environment that's chaotic, I know their eating is going to be chaotic. I know their space is chaotic. Their mind is chaotic. Their body might be manifesting some diseases, which is a form of chaos. So I really think that It's something I've always leaned into, that whenever the world felt disordered, I created order. I would organize a drawer. I would fluff my pillow and try to just reassure myself, parent myself through any anxiety, just remind myself like, oh, there is some mastery here. I can control what I think, what I say, what I do, and the environment in which I reside. We don't need a major overhaul. We don't need an interior designer. Deep respect for the field. What I'm saying is it can be super simple. It's a matter of bringing dignity and respect to our spaces and understand that those spaces have a tremendous impact on who we are and how we show up. So this is an opportunity, this end of the year ritual is an opportunity to say, I intentionally choose to let go of this year, to take the lessons learned and let it guide me towards the coming year. To remember that I have some say here, that I want to create the intention of what I want in my family and in my home, that I want to thank my home for the service that it gives me this year. My home, and I'm guessing your home too, has been through a lot. I've asked a lot of it, demanded a lot with all three of us here constantly, plus a dog, constantly here since March. Really all of us working from here. It's carried a big burden. So this is a ritual to say thank you. Thank you for the beauty and honor of shelter, which many of us do not have. And here is an opportunity to bring a level of respect and understand that when we impact and influence one space, that it actually impacts so many other spaces in our mind and in our body. So that's what we do on New Year's. And I'm not a drinker, so this isn't a big thing. I would encourage you, if you do want to have a drink, bring dignity to that too. I like to start the new year with a really clear mind and with intentionality and clear energy. So while of course, toast to the new year, ask yourself, who do I want to be the start of the new year? How do I want to prepare myself for the intentions and the aspirations and goals that I have a year ahead? What we do now and how we create our space, how we tend to our space readies us or distracts us. It can go either way. This might be a good year if you're not doing this now. Although here's a great reminder given the pandemic, like take your shoes off and don't wear them in the house. That's something we've been doing since we became active in the Zen Center 19 years ago, was recognizing like, oh, let's transition. Let's create a transition from the outside world to the inside world. So when we come into our home, the first thing we do is we take off our shoes. We have a bench by the door. We have house shoes. My son goes barefoot, but I've got a house shoes that I put on. And it's a way for me to leave the troubles and the debris and the dirt and anything else just from the outside world and walk into this sanctuary. Well, it's not as much of a sanctuary as it normally is. Like I said, the heavy use of the house, and it's a little more chaotic than I like it to be. But the fact is, we can bring calm and serenity. Our homes need to be a soft spot to land, and it doesn't matter what your aesthetic is. It's not everyone needs to go the minimalism route. What I would ask everyone to do is to bring the intentionality into it. That look to the items in your home and say, does it serve me? Does it still serve me? Does it create calm? Does it serve a purpose, and does it do it with beauty and dignity? That's something that I ask of the things I do. I love the practicality of items in my home. I'm very discerning about what I let in because our homes can elevate us or denigrate us. And it's really the level of intentionality. And this end of year ritual is a chance to get anchored in the kind of home and space and life we want to create for ourselves. So I would encourage you to explore this ritual and do it to the degree that feels good. And make it anything you want. Noisemakers, make it a celebration, and just understand it's an ushering out of the old energy and a welcoming of the new. And then if you're currently wearing your outside shoes in your home, I would encourage you to get a basket of slippers and just slip those on, or invite them when you do have guests to ask them to slip on some slippers to leave the outer world worries behind and the debris and dirt behind, and just bring in this beautiful respect for the home environments, our nests, if you will. Having that soft spot to land, building this intentional nest that houses our dreams, houses our families, and really is the place from which we make our dreams come true, that we craft lives of which we are proud and of which we are in service. So I hope there's something of value here that you might want to bring into your own life. No matter what you do, I wish you the happiest of New Year's. And most importantly, I ask you to bring intentionality, to show up, to be deeply, meaningfully, thoughtfully present in your own life. This is it. This is the greatest artwork we'll ever create. And our homes are often the canvas. The way in which we can put art and beauty into our lives is in the very environment in which we find ourselves. Happy New Year, and thank you for this opportunity for us to share the tradition that we do in New Year's. And I hope yours is deeply nourishing as well.